what's the one thing that you can't stand? Is it ketchup, dogs, or is it beans? For me, it's reviewing Amazon-only cases, but out of the 3 cases I'll be reviewing today, this Amazon branded case has one feature that is pretty neat. Now the second phone case is this one. It's kind of a blast from the past. Some of you guys might recognize it. And the last case is this one, case from Ghostek. All right, let's find out if any one of these cases is worth adding to your collection. First off, let's tackle the CaseKoo MagicStand. This supposed preserved case apparently has 10 feet worth of drop protection, even though it's just a single layered case. It gets this 10 feet protection from airbags. Airbags on an iPhone case. What's even sketchier is that they claim it's SGS certified, but this isn't the SGS logo. This case has a lanyard attachment point, but they don't include it in the packaging. But what they do have in the packaging is weird stickers, and my favorite accessory, a polishing cloth. As a side note, on the Amazon store that's closest to me, this case appears under the Taurus brand as well, so yay, Amazon brand. Now the standout feature for this product is this kickstand. It sits flush against the case, so when you snap it down, you kind of don't see it, which is really nice. Getting to the kickstand is easy. That hole, just do that, and you have the kickstand. This kickstand technically has an infinite amount of viewing angles and can be both used in portrait mode as well as landscape mode. Very handy. And does MagSafe work through it? Ba-ding! Now the corners on this case are a little thicker than the rest of the case, so it's going to afford a little bit more drop protection as well as minimizing the scratching that you would get from putting it face down. The back corners are also raised a bit, so when you do this, well, it doesn't slide around. The last thing I will note is that there's this tiny lip on the edge of the case. And I'll be honest with you, picking up this case using this edge is actually really nice. But not everything is great about this Koo case. MagSafe charge speeds with this product are a little iffy as you don't really get the 15-watt charging. The magnets on the back of the case don't follow Apple's standard layout, as you can see. And using MagSafe accessories with it is sometimes annoying. It's kind of like removing gum or poop from dog hair. All right, let's take a nostalgic spin and talk about this case, the Speck Presidio2 Grip. Now Speck took their sweet time incorporating MagSafe into the grip. But I do have to say the result is actually pretty cool. The grip portion of the case now actually blends directly into the back of the case, which is kind of neat. Now on the inside of the case, Speck went back to their ridges on the inside of the case instead of the solid TPU. Now you might be thinking, does that make a difference? Well, no, because Speck still says you can drop it up to 13 feet. We did that once, remember Monty? Now this case was actually sent by one of you guys, so I'm really grateful for that. You didn't actually leave a name in your note, you signed it, but I couldn't read your signature. So whoever it is, I hope you see this, and I'm very grateful for you sending me this case. Now for this case, well, obviously, it's all about the grip. That's the best thing about it. If you feel like you're gonna do that with your iPhone all day long, and you don't want to deal with a phone grip like this, well, get the grip. When it comes to using MagSafe with this case, I had no issues with the charging speeds. The case itself is much thinner than the older version, so you're not going to get stuck with the 7.5-watt charging that you might get with thicker cases. But like all Star Wars movies, see the TIE Bomber? So much fun. Something has to keep this case from being really great. Remember I was talking about the thin case? Well, the thin case really doesn't help with the rigidity of the back. So corner drops, those are going to be fine. Face first drops, I'm not so sure. From that height, everything's going to be fine, but from, waist height, yeah, I don't know. The buttons on the case are decent, but they're not floating buttons, and so you don't get that nice click that you would get from a lot of these other case manufacturers nowadays, which is too bad. And the edges along the case, they're not tapered, and so every single time you swipe, your fingers are going to feel like they're hitting a speed bump. Last thing I will note is that the finish on the case tends to take on marks quite easily, so if I use this MagSafe accessory, you'll notice that it leaves a mark. You can kind of rub it off. Monty, look, they've made it this far. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that every single time Monty shows up on the internet, well, you get notified. Right, puppy? All right, let's talk about Ghostek. They're a company that actually evolves their products every single year, unlike, Speck. Now the base model Exec was ready to go with the iPhone 14s. Comes with a case and a wallet. This wallet by itself is actually really handy. It's kind of like the CaseKoo case. You could do portrait and landscape. Just doesn't have infinite viewing angles. Now the design of the Exec has evolved over the last couple of years. This was about well, 2 years ago. This was 3 years ago. And so things have changed for the better. Ugh. Now, Ghostek's mounting system, from my perspective, is better than products from like Rockform, as well as QuadLock. If you just need to mount your iPhone, all you have to do is just take the plate, snap it in. Pretty simple. But if you're a more adventurous type, you know, if you're doing things on your bike, well, you get one that locks your iPhone into the mount. This is the bike mount, and there's a little lever right here. Pop your iPhone in like so, lock it into place. This thing's not going anywhere. Now, unlike products from QuadLock and Rockform, this case, the back is thin enough that you actually won't lose any sort of wireless charging speeds. This QuadLock case is so thick that with a made-for MagSafe charger, you only get 7.5 watts of wireless charging. That is not the case for the Ghostek Exec. Now, the case does look quite bulky, but it actually handles like a very, very thin case. Now, these oversized corners aren't just for show. They enhance drop protection as well as handling. Ghostek uses some of their R7 impact foam on the inside of the case. And this grip strip here, between the edge of the case and the back of the case, like this grip strip is so nice when you're trying to pick up your iPhone off a flat surface. Like, that is just spectacular. I will note that the soft rubber coating on this product is actually, this case has been in active use for about 4 or 5 months now, and it's held up fairly well. The finish on the Ghostek case is actually better than the CaseKoo case, and the price point between these two products, they're very similar. Now, there aren't very many downsides when it comes to the Exec. The only one I came across is that this edge is very, very shallow. So definitely get a screen protector with this case. So that's all I got. The case that I can't stand, the case that should have been updated 2 years ago, and this case, the Ghostek Exec, that's almost, I'm pretty sure we'll make it in the top 10 for next year. It doesn't unseat this case, which is my #1 pick. This case, the MouseLemonless 5.0, is just too good, too good. First time watching one of my videos, hit the subscribe button. If there's a case that you think I should go check out that I haven't checked out yet, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.